What's up everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video in which we will talk about the implications of the election, the US presidential election, and the result of which on the crypto market. Alright, we will talk about the crypto market as a whole. We will focus a little bit when talking about price movements on Bitcoin, but I'll talk about altcoins as well. I have an opinion on the effect for altcoins as well, so we'll dive into basically everything you need to know regarding the short-term effects of the election. The long-term effects I don't want to talk about too much in this video. I do have a little bit of an idea at least of what I think of the long-term effects while I try to get my camera to sharpen a little bit. I do have an opinion on that, but this will be mostly on the short-term effects. Now, I do want to say that it is very unpredictable, all right? And I think most of you will agree with me on that. It's going to be volatile because when there's new results from key states, from battleground states, that's going to affect the probabilities, etc. So it's going to be very, very volatile in general. And then through that volatility, we are going to slowly get some sort of an idea of who's going to win. And based on that, we can kind of see what's most likely to happen next. Now, first of all, when we're talking about what I think is most likely on the short term, so that's what I would say the 24 hours after the start of the vote counts, all right? So basically until like in the next 18 hours or so, I would say the most likely, just thinking about the probabilities, the most likely scenario is that we will fall. And the reason for that, and for me, like if we drop down into the low 60s, 65, 64, potentially even 62, 60, for me that's a guaranteed buy, at least on Bitcoin. Altcoins depends. If Kamala wins, I wouldn't bid altcoins. If Trump wins, yes. But the reason why I think this is most likely is because for me there's two scenarios, all right? There's either that, or there's three scenarios. Either Kamala wins, bearish, will drop down. And then there's the scenario that Trump wins, and then we can have a sell the news effect, because during this entire time, a lot of positions were opened for some sort of a Trump trade. Right, so it could be a sell the news effect, that he wins, but that we actually drop down initially due to all those whales taking profits. And the other scenario is obviously that Trump wins and that we will continue this uptrend and that will be bullish. That means that out of the three scenarios, two of them mean are that the price goes down in my eyes, and one of them is that the price goes up. So purely probability wise, I would say it's best to assume we are going to sell the news. Now, I would say statistically it is more likely that Trump is going to win. So then it gets closer to some sort of a 60-40 deal where you have a 60% chance that will drop down, 40% chance that will be bullish. But that is, for me, at the moment, the most likely scenario. And like I said, if we actually get a Trump win and we get a sell the news effect, for me that's going to be an area and a moment I will load up on Bitcoin and altcoins, because I do think we will be bullish into the rest of the year and next year. If it's a Kamala win, I will only load up on Bitcoin probably. So that's in general what I would say is most likely right here. So like I mean, the main thing I do think you need to do is kind of keep an eye on the price as it happens, all right? So that way you can also see if it's a sell the news effect. If it becomes more and more clear that Trump is going to win and the price is not aggressively selling off, it's not most likely that a sell the news effect is occurring, and then all of a sudden we can be very, very bullish in a short period of time. That's certainly a possibility in the case of a Trump win. And I think longer term, even though I did not want to talk about that too much, I think longer term being bullish on at least Bitcoin is still the way to go, especially Q4, Q1 next year. But something like this is what I would say is most likely. The most important key levels I'm looking at is 64,500 and then lower between 60 and 62,000. Those would be the main areas where I would expect Bitcoin to find support. If we get a spike down there, I'm leaving limits on some altcoins I like we're going to get volatility. Like if we get a massive liquidation spike down, I think that's one of the best buy opportunities we'll have this year. And something else that I wanted to talk about is that we will have a lot of volatility, and we will probably have a general idea of who has won tomorrow morning. But in general, I expect there to be I expect the real result to be known in a couple of days, all right, the finalized result. So in that period of time, we can still have quite a lot of volatility, and you should know that. All right, and that also means that certain effects and certain movements can be delayed. Let's say that it looks like Trump is going to win, but votes still have to be counted. Then it could be that we actually drop down ahead of that as some sort of a sell the news effect, and that we actually, once we have found support here and the result is finalized, we actually start to rally, right? So some sort of a delay in the price movements based on the results can also occur, because if you look back at the other elections, most of them are like, here you can see 4 days, 1 day after, and then the last two that were on the election day were Obama. But usually the real call of the election is a little bit later. And then what I wanted to say after all with altcoins, I am interested in buying altcoins during this election volatility, but only if it looks like Trump is going to win, because I actually do think that Bitcoin will survive and will thrive either way. I think altcoins with what the SEC is doing right now are very much the sector that is hurt the most by a Kamala Harris win. So if Trump wins, then I will buy, or if it looks like he's going to win, then I will get into altcoins if we do see some sort of a pullback. Otherwise, I will probably wait. All right, and I think in general, patience and not trading too much is the name of the game. All right, it's very much better to wait a couple of days until we actually have some sort of a structure in place and some sort of a confirmed direction, instead of gambling all your life savings on election day itself. So that's the last thing I wanted to say. For now, I think that's what you need to know. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.